Welcome back to the show, everybody. Seth Kamens over there. I'm Sean Palmer over here. Seth is on solo daddy duty this week. How is that going, my friend?
My hair is getting grayer.
It's about the same color. You know, I'm wearing this shirt in solidarity. It's just that simple. I'm just wearing the shirt in solidarity of you, knowing that you're gray. It's just coming in more and more. So
it is. It goes well with my tan, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Beats not having hair, which I'm still pretty sure I got some, which beats my dad. So I'll take the win.
You got a little bit still there. I mean, Jake is doing his best to make sure you're pulling it out. But I mean, other than that, you're doing pretty well. But other than that, everybody's copacetic.
We're fine.
We're all surviving the lack of Carly Kamens in the household.
We are surviving the lack of Carly. And
wait, what's for dinner tonight? That's the important thing.
I think my parents are coming over, so which means we'll probably go out for a quick bite instead.
Fabulous. So Seth Kamens' cook is not on the agenda this evening.
I ended up conceding and making mac and cheese. So
okay. That you know what you got. But only one, right? This is not a cafeteria. This is what I cook. Okay, fair enough. All right. So if you didn't notice today, Canada gets bounced from the basketball.
Dylan Brooks really needs to stop talking.
Yeah.
Did you see his comment?
Well, no, I did not. Look, first give me his comment, and then we'll go into what I feel is a major concern. So go ahead.
Pretty much that KD is old, LeBron is old, Curry is old. They're not very good. We should beat them.
Okay, you can have that opinion. That's fine.
But then you can't lose in the quarters.
Wait, did he have that opinion before or after the game?
Before the game. Okay.
Well, all right. So KD is old, LeBron is old, and Steph is old. Great. And the second team of Bam, AD, Anthony Edwards, Derek White, and Jason Tatum could beat anybody anyway. I mean, and that's the thing that I believe is lost in all this. Hey, we're going to bench Embiid for one game, or we're going to bench Tatum for one game. I get it. The comparisons to the Dream Team in '92, I believe, are applicable. I do. But with the Dream Team, you had an out, right? You had Christian Laettner on the team, who you knew wasn't going to get any minutes. And you had Larry Bird, who had a back problem, who you knew was only going to get 5 to 10 minutes and was perfectly fine with it. So you automatically had a rotation of only 10 guys, regardless. Mm-hmm. And Larry Bird had no problem laying on the floor and being fine. Here, they didn't go down that road of bringing a college player in whose job was going to be the bench spot. And yes, Tyrese Halliburton has played that role very well. And look, kudos to him. Of all these players, kudos to him. You have not heard one damn peep out of that guy.
Nope.
And you could make the case before the All-Star break that he was a top 10 player in the NBA, potentially top 7 the way he was playing. And yeah, he had the hamstring injury, and yeah, he's 23, 24 years old. But he hasn't said word one, and he's been taking it like, all right, I'm the bench guy. I'm just happy to be here, right? I have, and you know what? He's the first guy off the bench. He's the first guy that congratulates the entire team when there's a timeout. More and more, I wish the Knicks had picked him. I mean, that goes.
Oh, who would have thought that would have been a good idea?
This guy.
For those of you who are unaware,
we're gonna go backwards in time. All right,
we're going back in time 3 years ago to the NBA draft, where I think Carly was out with the girls and I was watching, so I had the night to myself watching. And all I got were texts, please take Halliburton.
No, we were on Google Chat.
It's Google Chat.
We were on Google Chat. I think I actually still have the chat where it's do not take Toppin, do not take Obi, take Tyrese Halliburton, take Halliburton. It was like going back to Stephen Curry and when the Knicks take Jordan Hill.
Jordan Hill.
Please let Curry fall. Please let Curry fall. And then they pick Obi Toppin. And I actually looked at this earlier this year, the chat, and the only thing that you had was ha 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 ha. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Seth and I have hosted this show for 11 years. 11 and a half at this point, almost 12. But at the core, believe it or not, we actually enjoy each other's company. Like, we're best friends. That's why we were able to do this and not kill each other most of the time.
Well, to be fair, you're a lot more bitter of a sports fan than I am, so it's a lot easier.
That's true, but no, I guess the point is we actually enjoy talking to each other outside of this show. So it's when there's an NBA draft, we're actually talking to each other or texting each other. So Seth knows that I'm pretty bitter, and I was bitter over Josh Allen, and I am bitter over Tyrese Halliburton, and those will be the two guys, and they will both be Hall of Famers, and I might go to their inductions because, damn, I called it right away.
I think the only time you've ever seen me really annoyed, I don't even know if I was really annoyed, was the Saquon pick. And I don't know if I was annoyed.
You weren't really annoyed.
I just didn't think it was the right pick.
Saquon in a vacuum for you was fine. Saquon for the salary that he was getting at $9.5 million, knowing what was coming next, that was your problem. In a vacuum, Saquon's a fine guy.
Right. I think, as you said, I think if they wanted Saquon that badly, they could have traded back to 4 or 5.
Right, because everybody in the NFL trades back.
Well, I mean, Indianapolis traded. They gave you traded up. Didn't you trade up to get Donald?
They traded up like 10 weeks before the draft. Like at that point, everything was set. The Giants were either taking a quarterback or they were taking Saquon. That was it. So, and now you get to watch Saquon in an Eagles uniform, which I'm not exactly sure is, and you get to watch Devin Singletary be your running back, who I know.
Here comes Tyrone Tracy.
Look, Friday, you will be taking him at $45. Devin Singletary. Absolutely. So anyway, I think, well, getting back to Canada, right? So Canada blew it. But Canada played the team that they couldn't play.
Yeah, it's the worst matchup. Although Gobert didn't play.
No, because Gobert had surgery 2 days ago on his finger. But does it really matter? I mean, that just means Victor played 38 minutes as opposed to playing 29. Look, there were two teams, well, obviously the U.S., but they did not match up well against France. Canada's matchup would have been great against Germany, where it's smaller people. Let's understand the best big man that Canada had was Norman Powell. So yeah, Norman Powell barely starts on the Trailblazers, which is one of the worst teams in the NBA. He's got a nice contract, though. I mean,
he does. They all have nice contracts.
They all have nice contracts. But anyway, so Canada gets bounced. The U.S., I assume they're playing now, right? They're
winning by 30.
They're playing Brazil?
They're winning by 30.
Yeah. Well, Brazil is the haymaker of, yay, we got by Latvia and we got in because Kristaps Porzingis didn't play. I have heard numerous things. First of all, I think Joel Embiid deserves to be booed. Absolutely 100%. He put himself in this situation. He didn't have to ask for a passport, and he did. He said, look, I want to get a passport so I can play. Wouldn't it have been great if he played for Cameroon, though? And him and Siakam, they could have been in this.
Is Siakam from Cameroon?
Yes. Ooh. Yeah, that would have.
They would have qualified.
They would have qualified instead of Brazil. They would have been instead of Brazil.
Well, they would have qualified. I don't know if they qualified. I mean, did Cameroon make the tournament?
No, but they would have made the tournament. That's what I'm saying.
But not instead of Brazil.
I'm saying they would have gone. They probably would have gone to Latvia and played Latvia because Latvia was a home team, and done what Brazil did, which was make it into the tournament based on beating Latvia without Porzingis. Because it's one thing to watch Joel Embiid in the NBA where he plods up and down, but this game is really, really fast. And he has no – he's the
Although
worst.
he's actually been very good in today's game out of what I've seen.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're running today's game. It's – who's
they're
Brazil?
winning 70 – yeah, they're on track for over 110 points.
Yeah, who's Brazil's best player?
Davis Bertrands? I don't know.
Right. Okay, there you go. So two things here. Two things have come out of this tournament to me. Two very, very big questions, actually. First of all, Jamal Murray. Oh, my Lord. He has looked bad. Like, really, really, really bad. And the Nuggets need Jamal Murray to be an all-NBA player or close to it because there's nowhere for them to go. And they have the ability to extend Jamal Murray right now off a max contract, and they haven't done that. And he averaged like 30% from the field in this tournament after a horrible, horrible playoff series. They are locked in. So the Nuggets, yes, they have the best player in the world still. By the way, did you see the plus minuses on Mr. Jokic against the U.S. last
Yeah,
week?
it was like he was out for like 7 minutes and they were like minus 26.
So they were zero. Well, they were even while he was on the court. So they played even while he was on the court. He was out for 9 minutes and it was minus 26.
Well, they're going to be playing. That's going to be the rematch.
Yeah. Well, did they win today?
In overtime. In overtime.
So who'd they beat?
Australia.
Right. So Josh Giddey in Australia. Josh Giddey, who will have a new $35 million contract. Whatever. Look, you have to look at – remember we used to look at baseball contracts and say, meh, right? And now it's basically the basketball has taken over that, right? And Tyreek Hill has taken over that from the NFL. And wide receivers are just getting paid. And truth be told, if you're playing football, you deserve to get paid. I will never begrudge somebody that takes hits like they do in football to get paid. Because the end of that life, the end of a football player's life is not so good. It is just not so good. So anyway, so that's number one. So number one is Jamal Murray and the pressure that the Nuggets have in the fact that they could extend him, but they haven't done that yet. And if they do, that's $50 million for a guy that has had a very weak 6 to 9 month period. Number one. Number two, you know who else is up for a extension this offseason?
I know who's not.
Who's not?
Jaylen Brown is certainly not up for
Oh, yeah. Neither is Joel Embiid. And they could extend him for 3 years and $180 million. And that is just – that's another one where you're kind of like, okay, I get the overpayment of Jaylen Brown. I get it. Look, I'm a huge Jaylen Brown fan, but I get it, right? I get the overpayment of Jason Tatum. I get the overpayment, quite frankly, of anybody that's not named LeBron James or Kevin Durant. I get it, right? Most of these guys are overpaid.
Yes.
But there is a risk for some of these guys that is not the same as others.
Yes, it's the John Wall contract.
I was going to say it's the Mike Trout risk, right? Where we have gotten through that, where if you had Mike Trout as a free agent right now, how much would you give him? Right? If you had the equivalent on in football is actually Tyrone Smith for the Jets, where if he was healthy and he was an all-pro and played the last 3 seasons, he would be in Trent Williams category, right? He'd be a $25 million tackle. But because he has missed approximately 16 games out of the last 3 years. He's got $6 million plus a lot of incentives based on playing time. The difference is in the NBA, you don't get there's no such thing. Incentives based on playing time doesn't exist.
Nope.
So you're given this guaranteed contract to Joel Embiid, who you have to assume is going to miss 15 games a year, perhaps more, and is one bad knee turn away every time he goes down. I mean, every time he hits the floor, you're wondering every single time. And that is a huge look. Philadelphia has made their bed, right? They got Paul George, who's going to be 35. They got Tyrese Maxey, who's 24. And they got Joel Embiid, who's 31. Those are the three. They're all max players. They're going to live and die in the next 3 years with those three guys.
Yeah. I mean, you have no choice with Embiid. You have to do it.
Do you have to extend him?
Well, how many years does he have left?
I think he has 2 more years.
No, but I guess you don't. But
the question is, if you
don't, then you're going to lose him.
How much respect, right? Are you going to lose him? Right? Let's assume he stays healthy. Are you going to lose him then because you didn't give him the respect that he deserved? I don't like the way Joel Embiid has played in the Olympics. I think he's been very, very slower than normal. If I were the 76ers, I would have pulled the same crap that Golden State did and the same crap that the Clippers did, even though they said that they didn't, and said, you're not playing, right? Rest that knee. Like, I get it, but, man, those 76ers are taking a huge, huge risk.
Who did Golden State pull that on?
Andrew Wiggins, who would be playing for Canada and would be a nice wing player for Canada. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay. What else have you watched in the Olympics so far? What has impressed you in the Olympics?
I've watched pretty much everything. I watched the swimming. I watched the track. I watched the freaking ping pong because it's awesome. I watched China versus Chinese Taipei in badminton. This is the advantage of having an office with a big screen TV. And there's nothing else I want to watch. I don't need to be talking football on August, which is why I'm kind of exasperated. I have a fantasy draft in 3 days. I don't really need football right now. I'll need it in about 2 weeks. I'm not there yet.
If the Olympics didn't exist, you'd need football.
Probably. And we have to get ready for our fantasy soccer. You're teaming with me this year.
Excellent.
Because this way I can help. You can run the day-to-day because you love doing day-to-day shit. And I can just talk to you about it.
Fabulous. I am in charge. Yay. For something I know nothing about. Anyway.
Oh, you're in charge on our fantasy football team.
Yeah, that I know everything about. Let's understand. I get glory. There is one thing that I get glory out of more than anything else in fantasy football. You know what this is?
Beating the Bate.
Well, besides that, that is number one. Number two is getting 30 to 40 points out of my 3 defensive players every single week. I get glory out of that because, ladies and gentlemen, you could pick the best running back. Everybody knows who the best running back is. You can pick the best wide receiver. Everybody knows Tyreek Hill is going to get you 15, 20 points. When you pick Fred Warner up because he just is that guy, or you pick my man crush Ryan Shazier up, or James Farrier, because you're looking at it going, this guy's going to get 15 tackles this week. And he actually gets 15 tackles. That is where I shine. I love that part. We have won fantasy football based on Joe Flacco and defensive players. We have.
And Easton Stick and Jackson Smith and Ingba.
Yeah.
It was a fun win last year.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, we win a lot off of our defensive players. We generally do. So anyway, okay. So you've watched a lot. I got to tell you, I really liked the gymnastics yesterday. I really liked what Simone Biles and I can't remember the other person's name.
Rebecca Andrade.
Yeah. No, well, she won. So
Yes.
Simone the bronze winner, right? Where
was it Childs or Lee? I don't know.
Childs. It was Childs. You're right. So I think, look, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, Simone Biles and Childs basically bowed down to the gold medal winner, saying we're not worthy in Wayne's World style. And you know what? Good on them. Because if you're Simone Biles, I don't want to hear from anybody that person did, that Simone Biles did that, because you've earned it. You can do whatever you want on an Olympic stage. You're Michael Phelps. You are the best female Olympian in the last 30 years. Easy. Maybe in the last half century. I mean, we're going to get to the top athletes in the 2000s, which is what ESPN does in their off time, which is called baseball season. And right, it's a slow season. You need something. And Michael Phelps was number one, which I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of like, every 4 years you become relevant. That makes you the best athlete in the 21st century.
He won 27 medals in 4 Olympics. I think you could make a pretty fair argument for it.
So Katie Ledecky,
you don't follow the sport, either do I. It's just because it's irrelevant to us until every 4 years doesn't mean it's irrelevant to everybody.
It's irrelevant on the world stage until 4
No, it's irrelevant on the American stage. Not the same thing.
He's an American. How can it be relevant for somebody else and not for us?
Because the best. Well, because I'm not saying him. I'm saying swimming.
Okay. All right.
Do you want? Let me ask you.
No, I have no idea I have no idea outside of Katie Ledecky and Michael Phelps.
No, that's not my point. Are the only sports that should be is tennis relevant on the American stage? Is golf?
Golf is
golf. You had Tiger Woods.
Golf is certainly relevant. No. The majors are on here. It is certainly relevant. Tennis is relevant.
Is golf? You don't run.
Oh no! I'm not saying they're athletes. I don't think a golfer is an athlete. But it's your question was, is it relevant? It's certainly relevant.
From a sporting perspective, would you put the best athlete in the world as a golfer?
No, of course not. No.
So baseball, you don't run half 3/4 of the time. So are your sports literally limited to basketball and football and maybe hockey?
You're gonna be shocked. No, you have your football too.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But on an American stage, it's not relevant. It's
wait.
relevant.
Really? You don't think
the American team?
Hold on. So if I go to Fanatics right now and look up the United States sales for Messi jerseys.
Oh, it's through the roof.
You don't think it's up there with Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think it is.
It's probably more than Josh Allen, actually.
Probably.
If you go 10 years ago and David Beckham, probably more than Josh Allen.
Because Josh Allen was a rookie. It was in Wyoming.
Okay, my point is that there are soccer players on the world stage that are relevant in the United States.
Fair.
Okay, so
Ronaldo, Messi.
Sure, the greatest of the greats, which is what we're talking about, the top 100, right?
Okay, so would you have Messi as your number one? First of all, I think the argument is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. We're not even do it in 2025 if you want to do it for the first quarter of the millennium. Like right now, it just seems like as you said, there's nothing going on other than the Olympics.
It's exactly what it is, right? It's a waste of breath. It's so we can talk about it. That's all it is. And that's okay because it gives us something to talk about. But I get your point. Is that what you wait one more year and you do it? The reason they're doing it now is an Olympics. It's an Olympic year, right? So you put.
So you don't think any Olympic sport, for the most part, should partake in this? So Simone Biles shouldn't be on that list.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that's okay. Now I'm rolling with your point. I am. I think you have world championships in track. You have world championships in gymnastics. But your point is valid that the 4 years, you're right. only I care about swimming every 4 years. I can see.
No, I mean, look, I only care about swimming every 4 years.
No. I'm saying I can see the point that there are people that they do more than just every 4 years, and nor do I ever want. Look, I used to swim. I know how hard it is. So I'm not saying that it's not athletic. It's not a sport. To be the best athlete, okay, I get it. I still would not put him there, but
that's fair.
That's for me, right?
Who would it be? LeBron?
Yeah. LeBron is. I understand that there are people that will never get off Jordan is the greatest player of all time. I get it. Can you get around the concept of that LeBron had the greatest career of all time? Because those are different, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, LeBron is a better Magic who has the most career points in NBA history.
And also is doing things at ages that nobody else has done, right? Like, who is the best 38-year-old? Let's go back 3 years. Who's the best 37-year-old in NBA history that's not named LeBron James? I can tell you.
That's silly. I'd have to look it up.
I can tell you it is. It's Kareem.
And he probably averaged 15 or 16 points a game. And
if that.
Okay, so I'm looking through the list right now.
Yep.
So Phelps is 1. Serena's 2. Are you going to argue Serena?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to argue Serena at all. Serena Williams may be the best female athlete of all time.
Agreed. Messi's 3. LeBron 4.
Yep.
Brady 5. Federer 6. Biles 7. I'm just going to go through the top 10. Woods 8. Bolt 9, Kobe 10. I wouldn't have Kobe there.
I saw something the other day that gave me newfound respect for Kobe, believe it or not. The team that he brought to the NBA the Western Conference Finals with a point guard, a Smush Parker.
Smush Parker one?
And I'm looking at that going, how the heck did he do? Like, how does anybody do that with Smush Parker? Like, Smush Parker may be the worst point guard on a conference finals team ever. It's possible. By the way, the best 37-year-olds in NBA history. Okay, just games played. Jamal Crawford averaged 10 points a game. Jeff Green averaged 6.5. Paul Gasol, this is the most games played. Paul Gasol averaged 10.1. Carmelo averaged 13.3. By the way, at 37, LeBron averaged 30.1 points per game. Chris Paul, 13.9. Dwayne Wade, 16.1. I mean, I'm not even getting into Kareem. I don't even know what Kareem did, but it wasn't. I mean, Kareem at 37.
Oh, he won he was first team All-NBA at age 39.
At 37, he averaged 22 points a game. Yep.
Okay, what was he at age 39?
He did more than I thought. Okay, at 38, he averaged 23. That's more than I thought. So, yeah. Okay. It's when he dropped off was at 39. He went to 17.5. So this year.
At 39, he was All-NBA.
No, 39 was 86, 87. He was an all-star. He was All-NBA at 38.
Okay.
Pro Basketball Reference has the actual ages next to everything else. So
gotcha.
Look, I get it. I'm just saying the best career is him or Kareem. It's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan,
not at that age.
Michael Jordan may be the best player of all time. I'm not. I believe I have an argument for LeBron. I believe I do. But
I
the best career to me is unquestionably LeBron James. Unquestionably.
What?
The best career in the NBA is unquestionably LeBron James because he started earlier than Michael. He ended a lot later than Michael, and he did a lot more on the outsides.
Can you argue Russell had the best career of all time?
No, he didn't do it long enough.
11 championships, 13 years.
I get it.
Finals 12 out of 13.
I get it. But if I'm stacking up 22 years of NBA against 13, that's where look, I'm a huge hockey fan, right? And I love Mike Bossy. And I could say Mike Bossy was the greatest scorer of all time. And there are stats that back that up 100%. But Mike Bossy retired at 32 years old. So Mike Bossy has better goals per game than anybody but Wayne Gretzky. Anybody. Did Mike Bossy have a better career than Alex Ovechkin? No. No chance. Did he have a better career than Brett Hull? No, he didn't. Did he have a better career than
Mario Lemieux? No.
Mario Lemieux? No. But you can say because he didn't have his back end slide, right? He ended at 32. You have to assume that if he played 5 more years, he wasn't going to average the same amount of goals that he started with. That's what Ovechkin's going through right now. So I say that with Russell, right? Russell retired at 33, 34, right?
Give or take. He played 13 years.
Okay, so let's say he came in at 22 after college. So it's 34, 35.
Yeah.
That's a 5-year slide that he didn't have. And also a 3-year preempt that he didn't start with, which LeBron did. That's where I would go, those 8 years.
I don't think you can argue. Like, I will take Jordan because I think the way I look at it is if I had a player for one game, who would I take?
Agreed. That's the best player of all time. That's not.
And that to me is Jordan.
Because
Jordan was an effing assassin. And
it would be either him or Kobe, actually.
Yeah. I mean, from our lifetime, it would be Jordan or Kobe. I don't know if you would take someone like a Russell or an Elgin Baylor. It's too hard for me to tell.
I can't take a Russell. He can't make his own shot. I could take Elgin. Elgin was Jordan before Jordan. I could take Elgin all day long.
I mean, you could probably take Larry because Larry was an assassin.
There was an effing assassin. There was something yesterday. This is why there's such idiocy. Social media brings out such idiocy. Somebody said, Dr. J and Larry Bird, it's a good thing they played when they did because they couldn't play today. And I was like,
Dr. J couldn't play today?
Right, exactly.
Dr. J's game is perfectly suited.
I'm like, okay, so first of all, Dr. J is playing so far above the rim right now because of modern footwear that it doesn't even he's Durant before Durant. So that's number one. Young Durant. Or he's a better Westbrook, right? He's Westbrook except 4 inches taller with an afro of 3 inches taller than that. And the afro would have been great in today. And Larry? All right. So Larry Markkinen is a third-team All-NBA player, give or take, right? And he's about to get $50 million. Larry Markkinen at 7 foot. Yeah, Bird is like 1.5 times what Larry Markkinen was.
Bird was the best small forward of all time before LeBron. If you want to put LeBron or Durant, if you want to put either of those.
And he may be the best shooter of all time, period.
What?
Oh, boy. Hey, Jake.
He ran to the bathroom first.
Yeah, he may be the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because the three-pointer wasn't
right, but that's what I'm saying. So let's just park Larry Bird out at the three-point shot and say, all right, beat me. Right? I mean, Larry Bird's one of the stories that Sean Kemp says. So Sean Kemp broke every single one of Larry Bird's high school records in Indiana. Hey, Jake. And the first game that Sean Kemp played against Larry Bird sees him at half court and says, "You're the man that broke my records, right?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Good luck tonight." And he put up 40 points on Sean Kemp, and Sean Kemp scored 5.
Jake, can you grab Morgan and see Morgan? What's going on, honey?
And Sean Kemp may be the most athletic forward of all time.
Come on in, Morgs.
Morgs! Hey, guys. Ladies and gentlemen.
Come on in.
The Caymans family, minus mommy. Hey, Morgs.
You don't want to do Kumon.
Oh, boy. Morgan. What's with the crime, baby girl?
We're not going to the pool.
Morgan.
We're not going to the tennis lesson was canceled, so we're not going to the pool.
Morgan.
That's here.
You don't want to go to the pool? Do you want to go lay down?
Morgan, I think you should go put on your Wonder Woman outfit. How's that? Can I see it? Can you bring it back in?
Can you go show Uncle Sean?
Let's go put on your Wonder Woman
Uncle Sean,
outfit.
I'm doing my radio show. Uncle Sean they got their birthday gifts.
Can we see it, Morgs?
Morgs, can you go get it and bring it down?
Can you show it for us? For me?
Please.
For me?
Take a deep breath. That's Tyrese Halliburton.
Morgs, for me? Come on.
Hey,
Help Uncle
Morgs.
Sean out. That's an interesting look. Can you do that? If you do it,
wait till she does that for every man in about.
If you do that long enough, it'll just stay like that.
Do you want it to stay like that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you want
Morgan, I hear Grandma and Grandpa are coming over tonight, right? Morgan, are Grandma and Grandpa coming over tonight?
Grandma and Pop are going to come over. Does that sound good?
I think they need to see the Wonder Woman outfit. I think Pop would love to see the Wonder Woman outfit. Oh, I'm not getting.
Jakey, what's the score of the USA-Brazil game?
I am not getting anywhere with her tonight. It is 114 to 82. 114 to 80. 114 to 82.
I know, but they're watching.
And I will tell you, the one thing I do not like about, there are two things I don't like about Olympic basketball. One, the box score doesn't show how many minutes these guys are playing. That stinks. I don't like that. And number two, there are no press conferences.
Guys, Daddy's hosting the show.
No press
conference.
conference.
We know the deal.
Jake, I'll give you a call later. You guys got to do.
You have to do Kumon though. That's the deal. Morgan. Yeah. Okay. You guys can watch the end of the game, and then they have to go do Kumon. Both the Kumon are out there. And then I'll come out in a few minutes. Okay. As long as you stop crying. So anyway.
Anyway.
He's exhausted.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
They're tired. It's okay.
Yeah.
By the way, so did you watch any of the we were talking about soccer before. Did you watch any of the women's soccer? Have you watched any of the women's soccer?
I have. I did not watch today.
Okay, so today they
Sean, give me 2 minutes here.
Yeah, no problem. So obviously that was Cayman's family, a little bit of drama there, but that's okay. You know what? Carly is in California, so no mom today, no mom this week for the Caymans household. But here we are, and we're working through it. So, all right. So we were talking about the top 100 and where people stand. Look, I'm not sure what first of all, I'm not sure that Michael Phelps is number one, but at the same time, really, where am I going? I do agree Serena needs to be in that 5. Messi needs to be in that 5. LeBron, Brady, Federer, Simone Biles. Does Simone Biles jump up because now she's from 7? Does she go higher? Tiger Woods is 8. Usain Bolt is 9. Kobe Bryant 10. You kind of forget about Usain Bolt, but his 2009 world record still stands today. Djokovic is 11. Nadal is 12. So of the top 12, 4 are tennis players, which should give Seth a little bit of a smile. Katie Ledecky being number 15. Shaq. Yeah, Shaq being number 17. Shaq had different, but okay, Seth's back. So, Seth, 4 out of the top 15 are tennis players. Surprising to you?
No, because let's be honest, you can't really differentiate between Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. How do you do it? And Serena's Serena. I don't think there'd be more than 2 other people in the top 100 that are tennis players.
Then you got Lewis Hamilton in auto racing, number 19.
Yeah, because he won 7 straight F1s.
Yeah, but I don't see auto racing as a sport, so that's where.
Well, then, yeah, there you go.
That's where I.
So, hold on. I don't look. I find it. Was there any baseball player in the top 20?
No, the first baseball player was number 24, and that was Pujols.
And that kind of explains where we are with baseball right now.
Because there are no stars, right?
No.
I mean, who's the biggest star in baseball right now? Aaron Judge.
Yes.
And
I mean, hockey. I'm assuming it's Crosby.
Yep, Crosby was like 19 or 18. Wait, no, I saw Crosby in a second. He's 22. Excuse me, Crosby is 22.
Yeah, like I'm looking through this list right now.
A lot of them are early on though. Like Garnett
Duncan
is 23, right?
That's too early. That's way too early for Garnett, I think.
I mean, look, KG is my favorite player in basketball history. I love KG, but he retired in 2009. So he hasn't played in the last 14 years, and he only played 10 years in the 21st century. You got the same thing with Shaq, right? I mean,
yeah, I think the Shaq is ridiculous.
I get Duncan 100%. Duncan played most of this time, right? Duncan's rookie year was what, 2000?
No, 97, 98. But Shaquille's was 92.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So 2015 is when he got his last defensive team nod, and he was 38 years old. So he retired. So Duncan retired between 2015 2016, somewhere in there. So he played 16 out of the 24 years. Yes, 100% yes, right? And we know Serena played the majority of it. We know Federer and Djokovic played the majority. I get your point that this is just something to talk about, right? That's all it is.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at like Diana Taurasi, 21. She's going to be in 6 World Olympics.
Yeah, which means she's been playing 24 years. Let's do the math.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, Morgs, are you okay over there? No? Okay, I'm getting nothing today. That's fine. I'm okay.
Neither am I.
Now, you need it a little bit more than I do. Okay, so your fantasy draft is on Friday. I know you're not enthralled with the concept.
I'm not.
But
it's way too early.
Is there a guy that you are saying I need to come away with?
No, because I don't know who the keepers are yet.
Okay. Is there a guy that's fair. When do you get the keepers?
An hour before the game, before we start.
No, that's a lot of preparation. Excellent. What time is the draft?
7:30, I believe.
So I'll expect a call around 6:30 and strategize.
I'll be at Jake's baseball lesson. So yeah, that may work.
See, there we go.
Marks, come on.
There we go.
All right. But yeah, so I mean, I have 4 potential keepers. I think only 2 are really practical.
Yep.
I have Kyler Murray at 4. We had $220. Superflex 2, 3, 1, 2, I think. Or two running back, 3 wide out, 1 regular flex, 1 superflex. Prescott at 31, Kyler Murray at 4, Kamara at 9, and Pittman at 15. I think Kamara's not really an option.
9. Ooh, Kamara at 9. I like Kamara at 9.
But the super flex, I think you kind of have to go quarterback.
I get it.
If it's reasonable.
In positive news for you, Kyler Murray was told today he will not play in the preseason. So, wow, that is an interesting leg, Morgan.
Are you being silly?
She's being incredible. That's okay. Brandon Ayuk may be traded. the saga.
Yeah, I don't know why the Patriots are trading for Brandon Ayuk.
They just need people. I don't know what they're giving up. I mean, that's all.
I assume it's a second and something else. They're not giving up a first.
Right.
Because their first is going to be a top 5 pick. You can't give that up.
And I think they have an extra second next year, so that may be why they do it. But overall, it's okay. Hey, Morgs, do you want Daddy to sign off and we'll talk later?
You want Daddy to get off the radio show?
I guess that's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, for Seth Kamens and Morgan Kamens, which is the most important person of this show, I'm Sean Palmer, and we'll check you guys next week. Have a good one, everybody.